What's up, friends? Welcome back to another video. My name's Alex, my pronouns are he, him, and this is my channel, Pucks and Paperbacks, where I make themed reading vlogs, I talk about queer books, and I turn YouTube trends bookish. And this month is spooky season. Today is Friday, October 8th, and this month I'm going to be reading spooky books. In this vlog, I have 3 books I want to read, and I just want to have a spooky vlog, and it's going to be fun. This month for my Patreon, we're going to be watching Halloweentown, so I'll bring you to that. I want to do some fun Halloween stuff and just chill and have a fun time this spooky season. This is just going to be a chill spooky season vlog. I'm going to be reading 3 books and just taking you through the month. I am going to be watching Halloweentown with my patrons on Discord this month on the 25th, so I'll bring you to some of that, and I want to just do some spooky stuff. I already decorated my room and my bookshelf. Behind me you can see one of my favorite decorations, which is my haunted house that glows. I got it last year and it is just my favorite thing. So I'm starting the vlog now because I want to start the first book, even though I'm in the middle of so many books right now. It's really chaotic. I don't know what's happening. So I am going to start The Low Low Woods, issues 1 to 6. By Carmen, Machado, and Dani, and it is set in Pennsylvania. This is a spooky story set in Pennsylvania, and I'm so hooked. I'm so ready. So you may say that October is spooky season, but for me, it's hockey season. So there's some preseason hockey on tonight. I am going to bake some Pillsbury cookies that I bought and just get into the spooky vibes because I really haven't done it yet, but it's only been 8 days into the month. So let's kick it off with the first book. Hello friends, about 20 minutes ago I finished The Low Low Woods, giving it a 5-star. I love Carmen Machado's writing and it definitely showed in this work. I really enjoyed it and I wish that there was more comics from her. I really enjoyed it. There is a trigger warning for body horror and for ideation or allusion to sexual assault, so I will point that out before you read it, but I loved it so much. Her storytelling capabilities are just awesome. She is such a great storyteller and she is from my state. I actually did a video where I reacted to authors' bookshelves, so I actually reacted to hers, and if you haven't seen that video, it will be linked above, but I am planning on doing the reading portion of that video soon, probably by the end of the year, but I do want to read some of her recommendations from her bookshelf. I've already read In the Dream House, so the last book I have from her is Her Body and Other Parties, and I know a lot of people love that book here on BookTube, so I'm excited to complete her collection, but a little sad because I hope that she has more work coming because, like I said, I really love her writing. And that is it for now. I'm going to finish up my Latinx-a-thon and Latinx book bingo TBRs, and then I will be back once Night of the Mannequins is in at my library. Hello, it is October 19th, and I have my second book of the video. I am so excited to read Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. I read his novella Mapping the Interior last year, and this is about mannequins who come to life, and I am so excited to read it tonight. I've been wanting to read it so badly, so I just picked it up from the library, and I picked up a couple other books but I'm not going to read them in this video. I'm just going to read them for this month. But I got Blood Like Magic by Lizelle Sambury, and I did not know that this book was that big. So it's almost 6 o'clock. I just got off work, and I am going to spend the night reading Night of the Mannequins, and I will be back once I have gotten some reading done. Hello, it is Monday, October 25th, and I'm hoping to get this uploaded tomorrow or Wednesday, because I have to get my booktube costumes up at the end of the week as well, which I have not started on, because I was participating in a write-a-thon. However, I have an update about my reading because I finished Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones last night, and I loved it. I don't read horror books, and I feel like I should now because I loved this so much. It is so interesting, and all I kept thinking is I want to see this as a film. I would love to see this as a short film or even bigger than that because it was just so atmospheric and the imagery was so good that I just felt like I was following Sawyer as he's killing his friends. And that is not a spoiler because it is on the back of the book. I just felt like I could just imagine like a huge mannequin just running around town like Godzilla, and it was, oh my god, it was just so cool. This was such a cool concept, and I just kept texting one of my friends saying this is so great. Even though they haven't read it, I'm like, you need to read it because it is so good. I am loving it so much. So the hype is real, but I can understand why people wouldn't like it because some of it is up to your own imagination or up to your own interpretation towards the end, and it is a short novella. I love short things, and I think that it was done so well, and I really love Stephen Graham Jones because he writes grief very well, and I love to read books about grief. So now I have completed 2 books in this video, and now let's go to my third and final, which is an audiobook. This is Another Name for the Devil by Mason Deaver. It is their Audible original, and it just came out on Friday. And so I'm excited to listen to it. It is 3 hours and 12 seconds. And I will leave the content warning list down below because I know that they shared it. I did want to talk about some of the things that I've done recently for the spooky season because I have not really checked in much. For my video where I had my Instagram followers control what I did for the weekend of Readerama, they chose for me to watch a horror movie, and I ended up watching There's Someone Inside Your House. It is the book to movie adaptation of Stephanie Perkins' book, and I realized I didn't even say anything about the movie in that video, so I'll just say it here. It was like kind of like a slasher. It was fun, but I don't think I would ever watch it again. But I did watch Halloweentown with my patrons on Discord, and it was so fun because these people have not watched it before, so it was cool seeing people watch it for the first time. So I did have a lot of fun with that. If that is something that interests you, I do a watch party on my Patreon exclusive Discord every month, and we vote on something to watch. And so if you're interested in that, you can pledge $1 to become a patron and have access to fun things like that.
I'd wake myself, sitting up straight in bed as the sweat on my body cooled, unable to remember what it was that woke me up.
Hello, it is Wednesday, October 27th, and I have completed this reading vlog. I just finished Another Name for the Devil by Mason Deaver, and I'm giving it a 4-star. I really enjoyed it. I love horror now. Like, I am a horror person, but I haven't really read many horror books, so this might be the start of something new. Really enjoyed it. However, it is gruesome and has murder, and if you don't like that and don't want to listen to that, then I don't advise you to read this, but I like those things and I loved it. I love audiobooks. It is such a different experience than reading a physical book. This audiobook had the horror vibes down to a T. I really enjoyed it because we heard the ambient sounds. The main character, Gabriel, they are walking away and you hear their footsteps, which was so cool. And we also got to hear some organ music, which you would have heard in one of the clips. It just felt so spooky and fun, and I would have loved to like listen to this in the dark because that would have been way more spooky, but I did not do that. That's a pro tip for next time. Audiobooks are so special and I really enjoyed this. However, I am not going to spoil it for you, but I will read the synopsis that Mason has on their website, and then I will get into my rating. Sweet evil, come deliver us. Gabriel has spent the last decade trying to forget their best friend, the first boy they ever loved, Jacob. Ripped away from each other in the midst of a family tragedy, Gabriel grieved for Jacob alone, surviving in their small town before finally breaking free to attend college, where they found new friends and relationships to pursue. Until one fateful Halloween night when the two are reunited. A twisted supernatural thriller from the acclaimed and best-selling writer Mason Deaver about a love darkened by trauma and turned wicked by obsession. I hope that hooked you. Like, it was so good and it just had all of the good horror vibes. However, my only little problem was that I just love characters. I love character-driven books. I would say it's a mix. It was driven by characters, but it's also really driven by plot. So this was only 3 hours and I'm not going to be getting like a full novel, so we can't really get to know the characters in depth. Like, I really got to know Jacob. However, I just want to know like how he died, because what happens is like he just shows up. Like, Gabriel is like, what the hell? Like, this guy has been dead for a long time, and what is he doing here? So with all of the horror I've read for this video, I've really learned that the endings are ambiguous. A lot of it is ambiguous and it makes you use your imagination more. I probably could have made something up in my head for like what the reason was why Jacob was here, but like it's so weird because Gabriel just never asks him, and I'm like, that would be my first question. I'd be like, what the hell, like what the hell are you doing here? Like, that does kind of happen, but I just wish it was more explored. And I get it's only 3 hours, so I'm probably not going to get that, but it's probably something I'm going to be thinking about. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. Good job to Mason. It was awesome. So if you have been wanting to read this, I would recommend it. But like I said earlier, if you are not a big horror fan and you get scared very easily, I wouldn't recommend this, especially because the devil is a really big part of the book. So if that stuff just freaks you out, I don't recommend it. But as Mason's first horror, I loved it. It was awesome. Like, I would probably listen to it again. This really made me want to explore more Audible originals just because of the way that it was done. So those are my final thoughts on Another Name for the Devil by Mason Deaver. If you have read it, let me know in the comments what you thought. And I would like to listen to more Audible originals. So if you have any recommendations for me, please leave them in the comments because I had such a fun time reading this. So now let's wrap up this video and talk about all of the books I read. First, starting off with The Low, Low Woods by Carmen Machado and Dani. I really enjoyed this one. It was super good. I love Carmen Machado, so it was a given that I would enjoy this. Then I read Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones, giving this a 4 out of 5 stars. It was awesome, and I cannot wait to read more of Stephen Graham Jones' work. And last, I read Another Name for the Devil by Mason Deaver, an Audible original, giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. I loved it so much. And now I am officially a fan of reading horror books. So that is it for me today. Let me know in the comments what your favorite spooky book you read this month was. And if you have any recommendations for Audible originals, please leave them in the comments. And if you don't feel like doing any of that, leave me a ghost emoji down below so I know you stayed. And if you're new here, feel free to hit subscribe. I make themed reading vlogs all the time, and you can even watch a whole playlist of all of the reading vlogs I have made. And if you are a returning subscriber, make sure to just check below. You might have been unsubscribed by YouTube because it just does that sometimes. So I hope you are all having a great spooky season, and I will see you on Sunday with my final video for the spooky season. Goodbye.